And hello, 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 everybody.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the official, first of its kind,
Amen.
Successful Stepmom Summit. And so you are here joining us from all across the world, and you are here with myself, Cheyenne Clayman, and this is...
My name's Kim, the man behind Stepmom Guy.
That's right, and I am his right-hand woman, or his soulmate and soul partner in life, and I'm also here to encourage you ladies because I am also in your position. I am a stepmom, and so we're so excited that you guys took this time to commit to not just us this week, but to yourself, because that's what this is all about. This is about you this week, stepmama. This is about either telling you for the very first time, or at least reminding you that you are worthy. You are worthy of a successful life, and you are worthy of a successful family and a successful role as a stepmom. And so before we begin, we just want to again say thank you so much for attending. Thank you for showing up for you and your family. We've got a lot of exciting things going on this week. We are spreading out our summit across 3 different days, although over a week, because we know you're busy, family life keeps you going, work life, you've got a lot going on. So we want to give you time to process and to actually do these summit videos. We don't want you just to, put it on your calendar and try to check it off your list, but really take that opportunity. So wherever you're at right now, I want to encourage you to put aside all distractions, maybe put in your earbuds, don't feel guilty, put maybe your kids in front of the TV for a few moments, but really tune in, really listen in, because we know that this has the potential to change your life. And so before we connect and dive into the material, like I said in the beginning, we are connecting with stepmoms from all over across the world. So if you would go ahead and throw in the chat, let us know where you're from, where you're joining us from. You'll, I'm sure, hear firsthand that I have an American accent, but the joke might be on you because we are actually not in America at this point. I know we'll go deeper and probably into our story in a little bit, but we are joining you from Belgium. And speaking of the chat, as you guys type in and let us know where you're from, I know that during the live presentation, we will be interacting with all of you. So get friendly with this chat. Make sure that you dive in there with any comments, any questions that you might have, any anecdotal stories. We want them all. We want this to be interactive. You guys can also do so even if you're watching the replay, because we're going to be coming back during this week and responding to any and all comments.
Because we are doing this in your honor, this is about you. And the more that you put in, the more that you take out.
Yes.
So leave a comment, ask those questions, share your story, because we're here for you.
That's right.
And I am on a mission to empower stepmoms all around the world so that they can have the family life that they want. They always wanted growing up. That they get the love that they need, because I know that stepmoms need a whole lot of love, but also get the appreciation that they deserve, because I know that you deserve that, stepmom. That's why, because I feel like the world needs more stepmoms, is what I always say. There's like so many families breaking up, so many divorces nowadays, so many kids living in between 2 homes, and I know from experience what a difference a stepmom can make. But I also know from experience that it's not always easy, that you get quite a lot of slack and flack for just stepping up and loving on a man who already has kids. And if I can do just that little bit to help you move forward, well, that's why we're throwing this summit for you, right?
Exactly.
Over the course of the next week, I will be giving you some fishes every once in a while, but I will mainly be on a mission to teach you how to fish yourself, so that you don't need me anymore after these days.
We're working ourselves out of a job, ladies, but that's our goal, because we truly want to empower you so that you can do this on your own and take charge in your family.
Exactly. Now, I will be giving you a ton of value and help and tips and exercises. For instance, let's just start with scientific fact number 1, stepmom, and that is that you matter. You matter so much. In fact, it is scientifically proven that the existence of your family greatly depends on you. Uh-oh,
No
what do
pressure.
I mean? Yeah, the relationship that you have with your stepchildren, do you have a good relationship, a good bond? Chances are you probably make it. But if you don't have a good relationships, chances are that your family will not survive over the long run. So yeah, thanks, man. Thank you for adding up some pressure. I know that's what we're here for, right?
Okay.
But no, of course, I will not leave you hanging there.
No,
I am here to help you walk away with to increase your chances of
exactly.
survival with your family. I'm gonna make sure that you walk away every video of your lesson, but after a week with like a checklist, with like a plan, so that you know what to do and how to move forward.
Yes.
And after a week, if you feel like this resonates with you, of course, there will be an opportunity to dive deeper,
Yes.
dive way deeper, go into detail. Now, I think over the past 2 years, I don't know what's going wrong with the slideshow there, but I do know that over the past few years, I don't have to tell you that we were living in some kind of a COVID worldwide
Yeah.
pandemic.
Is that a
Um,
virus? That's yeah.
that's like a little tiny cute little coronavirus
Yeah.
there. But I heard so many stepmoms, not just stepmoms, stepdads too, but so many stepmoms say that they feel like they do not have a voice when it comes down to decisions with
Right.
children. And this COVID thing was like bringing that all up in their in
Yeah.
their life.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you guys may have experienced it. You're with your stepkids more. Maybe there's even more irregularity in your schedule. And I think everybody across the world had to face a lot because all of a sudden you were with each other more
Mhm,
and things that maybe were below the surface before are now coming
mhm.
to to the surface. They're coming to a point. But that's okay because don't worry, we've got that solution for you and where you can go with all of that. Of course, new
Exactly.
information that's been shared.
But then all of a sudden, we all had to get vaccinated, and little kids had to get vaccinated, and little kids had to get booster shots. And I'm not saying what's right and what's wrong. All that I do know is that a lot of stepmoms expressed a lack of their voice being
Mhm.
heard in big decisions,
Yeah.
impacting the little children's life is
Yeah.
something that we heard a lot oftentimes. Or, for instance, when it comes down to disciplining, what do you do as a stepmom when you see that in a certain situation that you feel like there needs some tending, there needs some action being taken there,
Mhm.
but not the father's taking any action and not the mother's taking any action? Then
Right.
what do you do as a
What
stepmom?
can you do?
Yeah, exactly. That's a tough position that you're put in.
Mhm.
A simple example that we come across oftentimes is that when kids, especially little ones, when they move houses and they would sleep with their parents in the bedroom.
Mhm.
I know that when my daughter was young, I always was, not always, I used to be guilty of this too, because you want them to feel love and you don't
Comfort.
want them to, yeah, you want them to feel confident. But as a stepmom, it's totally different.
Yeah, yeah, you come into the situation, and at least for me, I wanted to, of course, give his daughter comfort as well. But
Mhm,
you also, just like you don't get a chance to grow into being a mother, it's like most likely when you marry or you become committed to your partner, you're kind of a newlywed, right? It's like that's that time you don't want to share the bedroom with nobody but your partner. And
that's a sacred
so
space
that is
in
your
a
sacred
marriage,
space
right?
in a marriage. So it can be very challenging when it is no longer the norm for you to have that sacred space in your bed together.
Exactly. But then all of a sudden, every other week, there's a little kid having to sleep within in between the two of you
Yeah.
because that's what they're used to. And then what do you do as a step parent? You have to go along with those decisions that are being made beyond your opinion, approval. And it can feel like yeah,
Yeah,
what
your hands are
can you
tied.
do?
Yeah.
Here we go. Another one that we hear oftentimes is that stepmoms feel like they are like what is my role, like when can I say, how do I step up? um exactly.
Then you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you feel like, okay, if I do say something, if I do establish this role where I feel like I'm exuding my, not just my authority, but my love, my genuine love for them, well, they then hate me because I'm not their parent. They have no
Exactly.
loyalty to me.
Exactly. And then I understand that there are stepmoms who say like, oh, I take a
Mm,
step back.
mhm,
I put myself
mhm,
in a safe position, shall we
mhm,
say,
mhm.
like in I don't care, you raise your kids as you want. We have to remind you that the relationship does depend on your bonding with the kids. And if you don't care, then how? But if that's you, then no judgment here on that side. But yeah, that lack of clarity about my role, about my position, about your position
Yeah.
as a stepmom. And it's kind of like this, how
When-
can I win when I
yeah.
do or when I don't? It's never good enough. Can we say that?
Yeah. Especially because, as it says here, the children, in fact, already have a mom
Exactly. That word stepmom can be a bit misleading because the word mom is in
in
there.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you say. And as a woman, when you're growing up and you're thinking, fantasizing about being a mom one day and having children and loving on them, and now all of a sudden you're a stepmom. Yeah, but you're not really a
Yeah.
stepmom, right?
Yeah.
Like, because they already have a mom. So it leaves you kind of like, yeah, who am I? What do I mean? What is my position? Where do I belong?
Mhm.
Of course, you love on the kids, you take care of them, you dedicate so much of your time and energy to the children,
Right.
and you want some love and respect in return.
Right.
But when we talk to other stepmom coaches out there, they would oftentimes say, like, hey, it's very important that you get clear, you yourself, stepmom,
Mhm.
preferably before you dive in. I don't know if you're there, but if
Mhm.
you have already dove in
Dove
there,
in, yeah.
yeah, um, yeah, who do you want to be? You don't have to be a mom to them. You can also be just your dad's partner without calling yourself a mom. You can also take on the role of the cool aunt
Mhm.
if you want. But I do have to say that in that regard, you may want to be the cool aunt, but it's only to the degree that the children will accept
When they
you
want you
in
to
that
be.
way. That will, to a great extent, determine the success. Because if they see you as this, can I say, old person who's maybe not so cool, you may think you're cool, but what do you, yeah,
But what do they think about you?
I can also imagine this largely depends on the age of the kids, right? If
Yes.
they're
Yes.
small, little
And
cute,
your age as well, but mostly the age of the kids.
your age as well.
Because I'm 34, but my teenage stepdaughter totally thinks I'm old.
Yeah, she thinks everybody's old, but
Yeah.
that's what teenagers do,
Yep.
right? That's what they
Exactly.
do. So anyway, another element, another factor that can come into play here is when there is an ours baby. When
Yes.
ours baby comes around, as a mom,
Yeah.
you want to raise all the children in your family in the same way. And that oftentimes leaves you in a position like, okay, how do I do this? And then that's where all these other things come together, like what is my role, what is my voice, how do I discipline them, who am I to them,
Mhm.
especially when you see the older siblings affecting your little baby and the language that they're using and the behavior that they're
Ooh.
exuding.
Yeah.
That all can culminate at that point.
And that's something too that happens even before an hours baby is introduced. We have several clients we've worked with that are, I guess they'd be labeled childless stepmoms at this point. I was when I first got married
Yeah.
to Kim, not for too long, but that is a different positioning, right? It's a different battle because here you are, it's all hypothetical. This is your first opportunity to be a mom, but you're not. But then when that child comes, it does, then it's another awkward shift. I know that some people think, oh, all those concerns will go away, but I think if anything, these ones are either heightened or new ones completely enter the whole picture there.
Dynamics
Yeah.
shift and
Yeah.
children now have new brothers and yeah, it's totally, or sister, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So
But
first of all, yeah, there is good
there
news.
is.
Now, I would like to say that all these things are valid. They're real, tangible
Yes.
obstacles, problems, challenges that really live in a lot of blended families. So if that's you too, then please know that it's normal. It's a part of this entire struggle. And I want you to know that just because you're there doesn't mean that you have to stay there. And that's why That's why we are throwing this summit, because we want to upgrade your stepmom skills, because it is a skill. It is learnable, it is doable, it is hackable, and so can you.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen.
What we are going to do over the next few days is going to share a secret with you. It is something that all successful step families have in common, but most blended families don't even know about. But that all of that is changing now. It is changing today. It is changing this week, and we want to spread this word.
That's right.
Now, if you're anything like us, when you set out, when you became a blended family, when you met your man, you fell in love, and you know that he has kids, but hey, only more people's love, only more love there, and I'm good with kids and I like kids, so okay, let's do this. You get your rose-colored lenses on, and life kind of looks a bit like this. You're like smooth sailing.
Yeah.
It's like tropical. Life is good. Smooth ocean. Life is good, right? No one goes in thinking, knowing that you're heading for
what this is. This
heading
picture
for a storm,
is
right? You're heading right into
sure.
disaster, because then I don't think you would have gotten on board. Although this is part of reality of blended family life. Unfortunately, in way too many families, there are heavy tropical storms raging by every once in a while.
And what's what's that storm that's called a squall or something, where it just shows up suddenly, it just drops on you, it just, and that is so common too in step families, because there's a lot of little personalities out there that you just can't control.
Exactly. And I don't know what's going on with the slideshow and why some things are popping up and going away, and okay, anyways, so this is you and your family in that boat, you're sailing along, enjoying life. Life is good, right? And I have to say that that was us too. Yeah. And us, when I say us too, who's that? Who is us? You can see us here. We're sitting here as we're going along. This is
calling back some.
Boom.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's a memory.
Throwback.
Going down memory lane there.
Your left-hand side, my left-hand side is my name is Kim.
He's Kim, guys. This is Kim, and I am Cheyenne.
My beautiful wife.
Thank you,
way back when we met.
This photo was actually taken the week we first met. This was when I had come over to surprise a friend from high school at her wedding, and I was only supposed to be here for a week, and I met Kim at that wedding, and then a few days later we went on our first date, and then this is actually the morning I was flying out of Paris. He brought me to the train station. Yeah,
because even though we are in Belgium, I am from Belgium.
Yeah.
My beautiful wife is American.
Yep.
So when we became a family after we got married and she moved over to Europe to become a little family, fast forward a couple of years later, two of us with our little baby boy, ours baby there.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when she moved to Belgium, at that point, she did not speak any Dutch. Ik spreek geen Nederlands, is what she said. And my daughter, the one that you see here with the beautiful legs here in the bottom picture,
she would say,
she was like,
ik spreek geen English, or Engels, which means I don't speak no English.
Exactly. But we made it. Here we are. We're madly in love, happily married. Every day gets better. And it's very simple because we dove deep. We wanted. So yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Not only were we blending families at that point, we were also blending cultures, as USA and Europe was getting married. We were also blending languages, as my wife and my daughter could not have a conversation without Google Translate.
We
So
had quite a few obstacles against us because we also, if I can just dive in,
sure, please do.
we all, and this is just to paint the picture, guys. I actually would love it if, as we're describing our beginnings, I would love to share, I would love you guys to share in the comments, like, what were some of the toughest challenges right in the beginning? What were some of the things you were confronted with most? Because what's great is now 3.5 years in, there's some things that are not even an issue at all anymore with us, or some not as big of an issue. But in the beginning, it can be really overwhelming. And so please feel free to share that with us. But yes, so not only were we both struggling with, language differences, culture differences, and that goes both ways because they didn't move, but all of a sudden they had English being spoken in the house. They had someone with completely different values and beliefs, religious differences. I'm a devout Christian. His daughter and her mom, at least, very, very more atheistic beliefs. And then we also, all within the first year and a half of our marriage, then we were pregnant. And I got pregnant with our son and gave birth to him right in the beginning of the Corona lockdown. And then Kim's daughter actually came to live with us full time for about a year after that. So we had a lot of things happening in the beginning, all compounding at once, all kind of potentially, and definitely in the beginning, maybe felt a little bit like a disaster, but that is why we dove deep.
Yeah, we wanted to figure this out. We were like, what exists out there? What is there out there to
What
help
can
us
we
through
do?
this when we're blending and we're
Oh,
facing so many challenges and obstacles? So we dove deep in scientific research. We reached out to many blended families, did a lot of interviews. We read every book that we can get our hold our hands on, get our hands on, and we cracked the code. We noticed a pattern that all successfully blended families share, but most families didn't seem to know about. And now you can find us at the Claimants if that interests you. But since we're on this mission, since I'm on this mission, on a mission to empower women all over the world, well, I cannot do that by myself. I would like for you to ask for you to help me out and share this page, share this summit, share this video, share it with a stepmom that you know. Yes, please.
yes, and during this entire summit, by the way, guys, even if, say you're coming in late, or another blended family, another stepmom, maybe from your family, your church, a Facebook group, you guys can join us at any time because we're also going to have replays. So even on April 27th, the last day of our summit, please don't let any stepmom miss out on this. This information is too valuable for her. So feel free to please send her to us, to our Instagram or Facebook pages, but also send her to the link that you signed up with, and all of this information will be available for her too.
And if you're wondering what information is too valuable, we're getting down to it. Because I know that that joining a family is not the same as starting your own family. And where do you learn this stuff? How do you do this blending stuff? So
doesn't come with a handbook.
Back from the start, shall we? As you are sharing, we are still smooth sailing, enjoying life, and all of a sudden, what do we notice there? We see an obstacle. We see a problem, blended family related, a step problem rising above the surface. What does scientific research tell us? It says that what shows above the surface is not all there is. There is a lot more underneath the surface, that things that we do not see, what we are not aware of.
Sometimes it's the very things that are causing the problems above, or sometimes they're completely removed from the problem, but they're the things that we don't see that need our attention most.
Exactly. Time for another scientific fact here for you, ma'am, is that the way that you perceive your family, the way that you look at your stepchildren, that in itself determines to a great extent whether your family will make it or not. What do I mean with that? It means that whether you look at your children as a bonus or as a obstacle, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When you see your kids as a bonus
or as baggage, sometimes is how people like to use the metaphor. Do you see them as a bonus, as a perk, or as something that's going to weigh you down?
Could not have said it any better, right? And this is scientifically proven. But we were diving into our yeah, scientific framework here, right? We've coined this the successful step family system. Is based on scientifically proven findings. It's a framework. And over the next 3 videos, now in total, this video and the next 2 videos, over 3 videos, I'm going to take you through it. I will teach you all about it that I know. So please do stay tuned. Please, it is my intention to spread this word, have families know about this. So if there's anything that you can do to help me out there, share it. You got that. Tag someone that you think would benefit from this. So you are sailing, you run into this problem, whether it's not finding your voice, whether it's not being clear on your role. Who am I in this family? Do I discipline these kids? How do I discipline these kids? Let's dive deep. What is there underneath the surface? What is it that we do not see? And at the first layer we see there, it is what happened? No, here it is. First layer, there's step parenting. Exactly. The step parenting, the moment you become a stepmom, the moment you step into a family, become a blended family, you're also a step parent. Automatically, if you wouldn't have any stepchildren, you wouldn't be a stepmom, right? So all these troubles that we have been discussing, your role, your voice, who are you, how do you discipline, all that step parenting related, your issue with stepchildren and step parent, how do you overcome that? Let's dive a little deeper. What is the answer? What is the solution there? Parenting. It all goes down to how you and your man, the two of you, parent in your family.
Parent together.
And what does that mean? It means that the answer to your problem, scientifically proven fact there, the answer to your problem is in creating a joint parenting plan that clearly says, how do we do things around here? This is our home. This is our family. This is how we do it, whether there's only one kid or you both have kids, or now there's an ours baby and some are young, some are old. This goes for all of us as one family does. What does that mean? Joint parenting plan. 3 words, joint. It means that you do it together. You, stepmom, and the dad that you married or are in love with and living together with, the two of you come together there. Parenting, all the children involved. And a plan, we would suggest for you to write it down on paper.
Old school.
Yeah, so that when you are talking about these things, how do we want to parent our kids? So how do we do life in this home? When you write them down, and then there will be discussions, life will happen, and tensions will rise and emotions will rise. And then at that point, you will not be having to not be pressured to make decisions because you've already thought about it in advance. You can go back to the paper and go in and have a look and see like, okay, this is what we agreed. So for now, we're going to stick with it. Of course, this parenting plan will evolve over time. As your children grow older, as life goes on, as you evolve as a parent, so does this plan. So see it as a work in progress. But this is where all those things come together. Yeah. Now you and your man, the two of you, can talk about what is my voice, what is my role, who am I to them, how do I discipline them? And that disciplining, when you are creating your joint parenting plan, and we will dive into this more in the next video. How do I do this? How do I go about it? What do I include, what not? But I can tell you now that if you can get all the house rules in there, not just for the kids, but also for ourselves. We also live by these house rules. And we, of course, we want to include our children, and we want to let them know what are the rules, but also give them a voice that they feel like they participated. It's very important, I feel, for kids to feel that way. When they know that the house rules are not just made up because the stepmom hates her stepchild. No, no, I'll be the one communicating this plan. I will also share with my children why certain rules apply. Have, for instance, the chores. That's what we had to go through. Like, these chores, little baby girl, are not here because we want to harass you. No, these chores are here because we want to help you prepare in becoming a responsible person. You have your duties. We all have our duties. And as you grow older, they will increase. So at that point, as a stepmom then sees that the child is not taking up on their duties, you can then help remind them that these are the rules and they apply for this reason. Not because we want to punish them. No, let's think of how can we reward them for doing what they are supposed to do, so that as a stepmom, you are then helping your child to get rewarded. You're in their court, you're in their side, helping them to get to the desired outcome. So you don't have to discipline, you don't have to play that power card and all that stuff that we've been talking about. No, think about it in advance. Get together with your husband, talk these things through. How can we empower these kids? How can we reward them? And then help them implement their things, help them think of the things that you see as a parent, as an adult, but they're kids, right? They don't see everything. They don't think of those things, but you're here to help them.
Yeah. And what I think Kim just painted so beautifully and so perfectly is the why. Why should you have a joint parenting plan, right? Why does it matter? And I think we can all probably agree, like, yes, that feels so good. I want to be in a space as a stepmom where I don't feel like I don't want to have to be that evil stepmom. I want to be that super stepmom that helps them, that helps guide them. Well, that's all well and good, but how do you do that, right? How do you go about it? What the heck do you include, right? It's like, which ones actually matter enough to get on paper? And what does science say? Like, how does science back it up? How do you do this? Well, I'm so glad that you asked. I'm so glad that you have those questions, because that's exactly what we're going to cover when you join us with our next video that's going to come up in a few days on April 24th.
In the meanwhile, you have time to share this information. Share it with stepmoms that you know, maybe not even stepmoms, maybe other moms that you see that are struggling with parenting stuff, because not every parenting issue is a blended family issue. Parenting is challenging. And I'm sure that when you were a child, you didn't always do what your parents asked you or told you to do. No, there comes a point where you start rebelling. But anyways, in 3 days, I will see you back. We'll meet back here. I will make sure, as I'm on my mission, please help me out there. I will make sure that next
Video.
video,
Next time we come
that
together.
one, awesome, that you will walk away with actionable items, with exercises, so that you come up with the answers that you need, that you can implement immediately, moving your family forward.
Yes, we're going to take it out of the hypothetical and the practical. So we've all been to those summits and those webinars where you kind of walk away at the end like, what did I just learn? You know, how do I do this? So no, that's not what we're about. We are about actually giving you real, tangible work that you can do in your very own home and make it specific to your situation. And that's also why we've put this on a platform where you guys can write comments and involve us in this decision making. Let us know what your family is going through. So I want to encourage you. It's another reason why we spaced out our videos over 3 days, because we are going to be in the comments. We want to give you guys time to process and digress and share this with your stepmom friends. Then you ladies can talk it out. So please go ahead over the next few days, as you take the time to think over what would you like to put in your joint parenting plan. I mean, go ahead, take out your phone or take out a pen and paper and write down things that maybe you've been a little little too scared to speak to your husband about, or maybe things especially that maybe you and your husband don't agree on. Those are things that are important. Those are things that we don't want you to just push aside. We're going to show you how you can come on the same page and communicate this well to your husband. So make sure you write these down, bring them to us. You can definitely go ahead and write them in the comments. So if you do that ahead of time, we'll definitely look at it and we'll do our best to address those specific comments and questions in the comment section, but even in our next video as well.
Exactly. In the meanwhile, share with stepmoms all around the world. And I'm wondering, what is your biggest takeaway? What did you learn today? What resonated most with you? Let me know. Like this video, like this page, tag someone, share, and help me out on my mission to help stepmoms, empowering stepmoms all around the world. In the meanwhile, we would like to thank you for being here today. And we'll see you on the 24th for the sequel.
At the sequel.
All right.
At the sequel. And you know
so
what?
Much.
We are going to promise that our sequel is going to be better than any film or blockbuster that comes out.
Only getting better,
That's
baby.
right. Better every time. Bye, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
Thank you so much. You matter.